Hello students, welcome back to our video class after a long time. I hope after 1 month we are here in our video session class. As your midterm exams are over, and I have already corrected your copies also, but I have seen none of the students you have done good result in mathematics. It's very poor performance ever I have seen from the students of class 9. It's very bad. So it's still there is a time to cope up and improve yourself, concentrate in your studies, and try to do good result in your forthcoming exams. Okay students, I hope you will understand my words and get serious about your studies. Now in today's video class I will start a new chapter from geometry, that is circles. As you all know, a circle is a round figure bounded by a curved line. Okay, and all the points on these curved lines are equidistant from a fixed point that is called center of the circle. So center of the circle. See, so if I draw a circle like this, so this is the center, we call it C, suppose, and all the points lying on the circumference of this circle are equidistant from the fixed point that is called center. Okay, so here C is the center of the circle, and the line joining any point with the center, this is called, suppose it is A, so CA we call it is a radius. We call it as it is represented by small letter r. And if you extend this radius to the backwards, suppose it is B, so AB will be called as diameter. So there is a relation between the radius and the diameter. So one radius and another radius, two radius makes a one diameter. So diameter is equal to twice of radius, or radius is equal to diameter by 2. Okay, so these are the relations between radius and another point that we should know, that's a line segment which touches the any two circumference of a circle. Suppose if you take it EF, so here EF is called chord of the circle. It is called chord of the circle, and this chord, and AB is also a chord, and diameter is called as the longest chord of a circle. Okay, now some more points. In this figure, if I draw another figure, you see, so it is a radius. If you take two radius, and the region forming by the two radius, this region is called, it is called as minor sector. It is called minor sector, and this portion is called major sector. Okay, another point, if you take another circle, take the radius C, and if you draw a chord and the region divided by this chord, they are called as segment. So this is called minor segment, and this region is called major segment. Okay, minor segment and major segment. Okay. So these are some important points of the circle. Another points are in this circle is tangent and the chord. Tangent and the secant, sorry. What are tangents and the secants? So when you draw a circle, if you draw a line segment like this, which touches a point P, suppose it is AB. So this AB line is called tangent. A line segment or a line which touches only one point, one and only one point on the circumference of a circle is called a tangent. Similarly, if you same line which cuts the circle into 2 points at 2 distinct points, suppose A and B, this point line is called as, this is called tangent, and it is called secant. It is called secant. Okay, tangent and secant. So these are the some important basic things that we should know while doing the chapter. And all you know, the diameter divides the circle into 2 parts, and each part is called a semicircle. And the interior of the circle, exterior of the circle, so many circles which shares a common point center like this. So these circles are called concentric circle. These are called concentric circles because they have different radii but having the same center, common center. See, they are called concentric circles. So you have to remember these basic things while doing the sums. Now another point is the congruent circle. What are congruent circle? If 2 circles are having the same radii, then the circles are called as congruent circles. Okay, or equal circles are also called. They are called as equal circles. If the 2 circles having the same radii or equal radii, they are called as congruent circles or equal circles. Now we will start the main topic of this chapter. That first one is the properties of circle or chord properties of circle. Today's topic is chord properties of circle. Chord properties of circle. In this regard, first theorem is theorem number 1. What is saying here? A straight line drawn from the center of a circle to bisect a chord which is not a diameter is perpendicular to the chord. That means if you take a circle and if you take from it is the center, suppose O, and if you take a chord which is not a diameter, so a line drawn from this center which bisects the chord, the line, suppose it's OM, bisects the chord, means if you take the as AB, since AB is a chord, M is the mid point of AB, then what is said? it said that OM is perpendicular to AB, and OM will be perpendicular to AB. So you can prove it very easily. It is perpendicular because if you join this radii OA and OB, first you can write join OA and OB. So by considering these two triangles, what we will get, these two sides are equal because radii of a circle are equal. This is the common side which is equal, and these are already given that AM equals to MB because M is the midpoint of AB. So by side, these two triangles will be congruent, and you know these two angles will be CPCT equal. So half of the angle is 90 degree. Hence OM will be perpendicular to AB. Now theorem number 2. Theorem number 2. So theorem number 2, the perpendicular to a chord of a center of a circle bisects the chord. Means it is the converse of theorem 1. Okay. So what is said in this theorem? If you take a circle and if it is a chord, it is a center. If you draw a line perpendicular to this chord, if you draw a perpendicular from O to this chord, if it is given that OM is perpendicular to the chord AB, that means M bisects the chord AB also. So it is said that if OM is perpendicular to AB, then it is said that then AM is equal to MB. This is the theorem. At first, it is the midpoint. AM is equal to MB. You have to prove that OM is perpendicular to AB chord. Here, the converse, it is given that the OM is perpendicular to AB. You have to prove that M is the midpoint of AB. That means AM equals to MB. So again, you can do same way. You can join this OA and OB. You will get two triangles. It will be the common side, 90 degrees given, and radii are equal. So by RHS, the two triangles will be congruent, and by CPCT, AM equals to MB. So in this way you can prove this theorem also. Okay. Now we move to the third theorem. It is said in the equal chords of a circle are equidistant from the center. Theorem number 3. You have to remember all the statements of the theorem, because when you use the theorem while doing the sums, you have to write the full theorem statement correctly. You cannot write theorem 1, theorem 2, theorem 3, etc. You have to write all the statement of the theorems properly in each and every sums that we are using the theorems. Now this theorem is in this equal chords of a circle are equidistant from the center. That means if you take a circle, suppose it is O, if you take a two chords like this, suppose AB and CD, if these chords are equal, if these two chords AB and CD are equal, then you have to prove that they are equidistant from the center. It is said that if chord AB is equal to chord CD, then you have to prove that the perpendicular distance from the center means AM, I take N, so you have to prove that OM is equal to ON, means you have to prove these two distances are, the chords are equidistant from the center O. So OM is equal to ON you have to prove. To do this proof, what can you do? again you can take that triangles. First construction, you have to do the construction that draw the perpendicular OM to AB and ON to CD. So first of all, what you write? Draw OM perpendicular to AB and ON perpendicular to CD, and join OA and OC. Now we will get the two triangles. So if you draw the perpendicular, that means here. So when you consider in triangles OMA and triangle ONC, if you take these two triangles, what you will get? AM is equal to CN. Why AM equals to CN? Because from the first theorem, you know, if a line drawn from the center of a circle to the is perpendicular to the chord, then bisects the chord. Here also we have drawn perpendicular to the chord. That means OM will bisect AB and ON will bisect CD. Okay. So AM is a half of AB and CN is a half of CD. Since AB and CD are equal, then their halves are also equal. So we can write AM equals to CN. So you can, in the bracket, you can write AM is equal to half of AB and CN is equal to half of CD, and also AB is equal to CD. So AM equals to CN. Now another point, that angle OMA is equal to angle ONC, because they are perpendicular. That means each, you can write each 90 degree. Third point, OA is equal to OC, radii of a circle. OA is equal to OC, you can write radii of a circle, means are equal. Therefore, by right angle, one hypotenuse and this side, so therefore triangle OMA is congruent to triangle ONC by RHS axiom. Okay. So OM is equal to ON by CP CT. So we have proved OM equals to ON by CP CT. So this is the theorem number 3. Another theorem is there of theorem 3, that is theorem number 4 of its converse. Okay. Now theorem number 4. So when you take a circle here again, okay, if you take two chords, it is said that if two chords are equidistant from the center, then the chords are equal. So again A, B, C, D. So again here they are perpendicular, you have to draw. It is M here and it is N. So it is the center of. If it is said OM is equal to ON, then you have to prove that AB is equal to CD. So to do this proof, again you have to join this radii. Now you have to consider these two triangles. So we will write in triangle OMA and triangle ONC. What you will get? First of all, OM equals to ON. OM equals to ON. It's given because they are equidistant from the center. After that, this is right angle. Angle OMA is equal to ONC. Since OM is perpendicular to AB and ON is perpendicular to CD. Okay, and the third radii are equal, so OA is equal to OC. Radii of a circular equal. So now again by RHS these two triangles are congruent, therefore triangle OMA is congruent to triangle ONC by RHS rule. Okay, this implies AM is equal to CN. Now since AM equals to CN and the perpendicular distance drawn from the center bisects the chord, that means AM is equal to twice of half of AB. So in place of AM you can write half of AB, and in place of CN you can write half of CD. So why? Because from theorem number 1, when the perpendicular drawn to the chord bisects the chord, perpendicular drawn from the center to the chord bisects the chord. Okay, so when you cancel half, you will get AB equals to CD. It is proved. So it is proved that when the two chords are equidistant from the center, they are of equal length, and that theorem, if two chords are equal in length, they are equidistant from the center. Now the last theorem of this, before this doing the first exercise of your book. Sorry students, the next theorem that we will discuss it is a logical theorem. It cannot be proved by, you can prove it by congruency also, but it is a very logical theorem. See what is said here. It is said that if there is one and only one circle passing through the 3 points which are non-collinear points, means what this theorem means, it is theorem number 5. Means it is said that if you take 3 non-collinear points, suppose it is one is A, B and C. What are non-collinear? Non-collinear means the points which does not lie on a same line segment. They are called non-collinear, means the line segment points more than 2 points, 3 or more than that, if lies on the same line, the line points are called collinear. But here we have taken the non-collinear points, means the 3 points does not lie on the same line segment. So it is said that from these 3 points only one circle can be only drawn. How it is proved? Now to prove that, what we have to do some construction work. So you join this AB and AC. Okay, now draw the perpendicular bisector of this AB and AC both, like this. Again here also you draw the perpendicular bisect. You know how to draw the perpendicular bisect, and let them meet at the point, one point that is taken as O. Now taking OA or OB or OC as the radius, now you have to draw the circle. What you will see while drawing the circle, only one circle can be drawn like this. So it is proof that, because why it is one circle is drawn, because we can see here these two lines are perpendicular bisector. We have drawn the perpendicular bisectors to the chord. AB and AC are two chords, and we have drawn the perpendicular bisector. That means if you take these points M or N, OM is perpendicular to AB and ON is perpendicular to AC. That means M is the midpoint of AB also, N is the midpoint of AC also. So by first two theorems, it is proved that the perpendicular lines will be always intersect at the center. That means O is the center of point of intersection of these perpendiculars, and if you take this point as the center, only one circle you can draw through these 3 points. So this is about the theorems of this chapter number 16 of. Before doing the first exercise, there are lots of questions. We will discuss these questions in the next video class. On Monday we will get a next video class, but before that I request you, all of the students, to please follow this video properly. Again I am saying your performance was very poor in half yearly exam. If you go on doing like this, you will be not get promotion for class 10. Okay, so be careful, be serious, and concentrate in your studies properly. Okay students, thank you for watching this video. Thank you very much.